What's up, YouTube? This is actually going to be take 2 of a video. The original video I recorded was like 30 minutes long, but I just wanted to basically condense it down. So in order to do so, what I'm going to do is I just want to say welcome to the channel. My name is Qrider. I'm a gamer, and I just wanted to I'd like to stream twice a week, Thursdays and Fridays at 7 p.m. And that's Central Time, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Central Time. And I like to also just make like little videos every now and then, just to say what's going on with me. So when it comes to getting games, right, and playing games, there are a lot of games that like most people, I collect a lot of games. You barely got time to play them, but like my backlog is crazy. Just like anybody else, that's just the nature of being a gamer. You can't play everything. There's not enough time in the day. But what I do want to do is just say that basically just giving some just an update on what my gaming has been like recently. So just to start out, PlayStation 2 games. Okay, the most immediate one, SOCOM 3. Okay, SOCOM 3. This is a brilliant tactical shooter, and if you know anything about tactical shooters, they usually have a really big audience on PCs. But the reason why SOCOM is so big is because they had a really good multiplayer back in the day. Now, I do need to preface this with saying that I didn't get into SOCOM until a couple years ago, and until then, till then, you know what I'm saying? I always knew about it, but I was just like, oh, like, you know, I've seen my cousin's father. He was really into it back in the day, but I didn't know that it was really like that. So a couple years ago, I ended up having a backwards compatible PS3. That's the PS3 Fat, the original model that had the 4 USBs on the front of it. And I ended up playing SOCOM 1 on that backwards compatible PS3. I played SOCOM 2 on PlayStation 2 that I had since I was a kid. And now I'm going to be playing SOCOM 3 on the PCSX2 emulator on PC. So the game is going to look better because you can scale it up, so it looks very, very good. I have a modest computer. You know, I have a i5-9400F and a GTX 1660 Super. So, you know, I have a very modest computer, so any computer nowadays can easily run in most PS2 games. Now, the only thing that's going on with the PCSX2, specifically with the SOCOM series, is that the SOCOM series uses the PS2's pressure-sensitive buttons. So what this means is that if you are going to be crouching, so you can go from standing to crouching by lightly pressing the button, but then if you push it a little bit harder, he'll go from standing to crouching to prone. So if you just need to crouch, you just lightly press it. If you really need to go prone, then you jab the button down. Now, I ended up getting a controller. This is the Retro Fighters. This has pressure sensitive buttons, but for some reason I can't get it to work with the emulator. So now what I have to do is I have to take a button like a trigger that applies the pressure sensitive mode, and then I'm able to press the button, and that's how I get around the pressure sensitive buttons in PCSX2. Now, what I am interested in, an update that I wish PCSX2 would do, or emulators in general, is I wish, let's say you got buttons like this on the back of your controller. This is my Xbox controller. I wish that in the emulators on PC, I wish that you can assign these buttons in the thing, but you can't. You just can't. So it can only read, emulators can only read like buttons that are there. Like, you know what I mean? Like the basic buttons of the controller that you're emulating. So maybe one day in the future we'll get around to a point where emulators can use the extra buttons on controllers, because some controllers will even have extra shoulder buttons, grip buttons, and it will be cool if they can do that. So that's gonna be SOCOM 3. Now I'm playing it on PCSX2. I'm gonna be streaming it. I just like the SOCOM series because it's a thinking man shooter. You get this big you're playing in real time. You can shoot in real time, but then you're commanding a squad. You pull up a list where it's like, go here, defend this, do this, run here, walk here, crawl here, cover this area, stay silent, only shoot if they shoot at you. I believe that's a command. And, you know, so you get so much control over your squad that it's actually amazing. Now, when it comes to PS2 games, I'm going to be playing them on PCSX2, but I do also have a PS2 Slim that's using the HD Retrovision cable. So component. So I have a TV here that has component input. So I'm going to be playing on the emulator because it looks better, but I'm also going to be from time to time playing on an actual PS2, just so, you know, because I got the TV, I got the console. I'm like, you know what, you might as well just go ahead and, you know what I mean, play them both. You know, play on the emulator because it'll look better, but also go back from time to time and, you know what I'm saying, and play on your actual PS2. So now we're going to get into PS3 games. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because there's a lot of games on PS3 that I want to play. So basically, since we're let's go over some collections. Okay, Ratchet and Clank, I haven't beaten any of these games, so I need to play that. I need to play the first 2 God of War games. I need to play Resistance Fall of Man. I have Resistance 2, but Resistance 1 is one that I'm really, really interested in playing. Okay. And also, I have the Metal Gear Solid. This is the entire series sans 5. So in this, you're going to have Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, Peace Walker. So you're going to get a lot of gameplay out of this. And then there's also White Knight Chronicles. So this is going to be a set of RPGs that I haven't played yet. It's a series that I feel like doesn't get that much attention. So I was like, you know what? We need to just go ahead and give this RPG series a try, because I feel like nowadays there's still a lot of choice in RPGs. Like it used to be that there were so many different types of games. Sports games are also a good indication of how things have changed over time. How you used to have NBA Live, NBA 2K. You used to have NFL 2K, NFL college football. And now it's like there's one NBA game, there's one NFL game. And it just feels like your choices. Like if I told somebody I played RPGs, they would most likely be like, okay, like there's a ton of RPGs. But then they would be like, oh, so what do you like? Turn-based? Oh, so you probably play Final Fantasy. Then it's like there's other games like White Knight Chronicles that, you know what I'm saying, that kind of go underneath the radar. So I'm like, you know what? And this comes with White Knight Chronicles 1 Remastered. That's what the sticker says here. So, you know, I'm like, you know what? I've never played this series before. You know, I need to go ahead and try the series. You know, I need to go ahead and give it a try. Now, when it comes to the 360, I'm playing one game in particular, an RPG that's exclusive, and that is going to be Lost Odyssey. This game is one of the very few exclusive RPGs that are on the Xbox 360. This is playable on modern Xboxes. So your Xbox Series S, X, you can play this game. I mean, with the Series S being all digital, you just need to buy a digital copy, but it is playable. Now, I do want to play that, and there's also another exclusive 360 game called Blue Dragon that I also want to play. Because I'm big in RPGs, I want to try them. You know what I'm saying? I want to try different series, and I still want to play a Trials game. I want to play a Tales game, a Legends game, a Legends of Mana game. I want to play a lot of different RPG series. So, and then of course for the last of it, the Rare Replay. This has so many games in it. So of course, Jet Force Gemini, Killer Instinct, Banjo Kazooie, Conquer, and that's off the top of my head. And if you got this digitally, you got GoldenEye, the 007 GoldenEye from the N64. They upgraded the game. They re-released the game, remastered it or whatever, remade it, whatever. But I have a physical copy, so I don't get that one. But which means I'm gonna have to either subscribe to Game Pass or just double dip and buy the game digitally. But that is pretty much everything that I want to do. That's within the next couple months. So I will be streaming until the new year of 2026 every Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time. And these are the games that I'm going to be playing on my time off, and on my streams I will be streaming a little bit of these games and the progress as I'm going through them. Now we're at the 12-minute mark, and my original video was like 30 something minutes. I don't like to make too long videos, so. And I do feel a little bit messed up that I don't have a haircut and I'm looking really scruffy right now, so I apologize. I really do apologize. But another thing that I'm also doing on PC, because right now I'm going through Chronos: The New Dawn. That is a horror game by Bloober Team, the same people that brought us the Silent Hill 2 remake, and they're making Silent Hill 1 remake. So I'm going through that. I'll be streaming most likely the end of that tonight. And then I'm also on PC going through Wasteland 3, this time with all the DLC and everything, and I'm following a guide for builds and stuff, so that way I can optimize my gameplay and all that. Now, Wasteland is even though Fallout New Vegas is my favorite RPG of all time, the Wasteland series is also another series that I really appreciate, largely because, it's a turn-based game, and you have limited at least in Wasteland 2. So Wasteland 2 was the first Wasteland I ever played, and that left a lasting impression on me, to where you're in this world, post-apocalyptic, you're fighting raiders, gangs, the guy's militia, you got some monks that were like bombers, a lot of this, but it was the gameplay that got me, like turn-based strategy, but at the same time, like if you have guns, you can't have like 100 rounds, like, what I mean, because ammunition weighs weight, and each character had their own weight limit. So if you had a sniper rifle, you would have like 30 rounds for your sniper rifle instead of 100 rounds, and you would be like, okay, this can get me through the next fight. And that survival of like, okay, if somebody dies, now I have to take everything that they've owned and I have to disperse it amongst my team. Now, Wasteland 3 did make a change in the sense that they took, instead of having each of your party members have a weight limit, they did like an unlimited stash, so you can, anything you pick up you can keep, there's no limit. I'm not a fan of that, but I understand that it's a better system for the large amount of gamers out there. Like, a lot of gamers are gonna say, hey, I got a gun, I want 100 rounds, but if I can only hold 30, and that's what it felt like. Wasteland 2 felt like every bullet mattered, and Wasteland 3, it's the same, but it's different, but it's the same. But I'm going through that game. When I originally played the game on Game Pass, the DLCs weren't out, but now I'm going to be playing them. Although one of the DLCs does like this weird thing where a lot of fights aren't like kill everything. It's like objective based. So enemies will keep respawning until you achieve a certain objective. I'm not a fan of that, but I will play the DLC anyway. And then I saw something weird where it was like they were like shields, like sci-fi shields and stuff. And like Wasteland has had a little bit of what is that, like sci-fi, like they deal with a lot with androids, you know, mutated wildlife and stuff like that. But when I saw shields, I was like, whoa. I don't know if I like that. I was like, I don't know if I like that. Like, you know, this series has always been like down to earth, like grounded, you know. So, you know, I'll let you guys in on how that playthrough is working out. But in the meantime, guys, I don't want to keep up most of your time. I've already cut this video length in half, and I really appreciate anybody that gives a like, a comment, anything. All right, I just had to get out here and I just had to talk about something, and I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I want you guys to have the best week. I want you to get outside, enjoy yourself, have a great time, and let's just enjoy gaming, you know. So I ain't gonna talk your ear off because I can ramble, and we all know that when it comes to rambling, you know, I'm trying to keep myself tamed and like, all right, let's just get to the point. So I appreciate everybody, and you'll see me on the streams and everything. All right, so I'll holler at you guys later. All right, peace.